Okay, so as the Eagles get ready to face off versus the Cowboys, we find out we might be down another lineman. Meanwhile, offensive coordinator Kevin Patullo just might be out of Philly. So much to break down, including Jordan Davis's play, but more importantly, his leadership. Plus, Jalen Hurts couldn't answer what changed about this offense since the beginning of the season. We also hear how he feels about the anonymous frustration reports, and DeSean Jackson speaks on the AJ Brown situation and also the relationship with QB1. What is going on, everybody? I go by Philly Mike, and this is the Philly Talk Podcast. If you rock with our Eagles, do me a favor, hit that like, subscribe to the channel, and turn on that notification bell so you don't miss the videos. So the Philadelphia Eagles are back at practice preparing for the Dallas Cowboys, and we all knew Lane Johnson's status, but we didn't know Cam Jurgens until now. Wednesday injury report, Lane Johnson, Liz Frank, he'll be out for a while, but Cam Jurgens didn't practice with a concussion. As for the limited participant, it was Jalen Phillips with a shoulder. He'll be fine. And we did get back 2 offensive reinforcements with full practices in Miles Hinton and Willie Lampkin. Now, we were all aware that Cam Jurgens left the game versus the Detroit Lions, but nobody said what the injury was. With it being labeled a concussion and how protocol is in today's game, it don't look good for him suiting up versus the Dallas Cowboys. With that being said, we got to find a way to take care of business versus the Cowboys and not let it be a trap game. And if you're wondering why I think this could be a trap game, although the Eagles are clearly the better team, is because 1, it's a division rival. 2, it's on the road. 3, we're coming off a 4-game winning streak, beating 2 of the best teams in the NFC. 4, the Cowboys are desperate for a win to even keep their playoff hopes alive. And lastly, although I don't believe it, but there are a lot of reports circulating about the Jalen Hurts situation, blah, 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 blah. And so a loss here is just going to magnify all that, even though we would still be possibly first in the NFC, definitely first in the NFC East. But if we were on a 4-game winning streak and the noise was loud, it's just going to get louder. And although the Cowboys are a 4-win team, their defense got dramatically better, even though they were only playing the Las Vegas Raiders, who are a 2-8 football team. Not only did they get Logan Wilson and the big man up front, Quentin Williams, via the trade deadline, the bye week came in handy for them as they got a bunch of key players back from injury, including linebacker DeMarvion Overshown, the rookie corner in Siobhan Ravel Jr., along with both safeties, Donovan Wilson and Malik Hooker, who all made their presence felt in their first game either back or with the Cowboys. Again, for context, it's the 2-8 Raiders, we the 8-2 Eagles. But even some of the best teams in the league lose to underperforming teams if they don't pay attention. As for the Cowboys offense, besides a couple games, they've been putting up points. I think they're second in the NFL in offense. Something right now the Eagles offense is struggling to do. I think we're due for explosion. And you'll hear when we preview the game actually what I think the Eagles offense is going to do against the Cowboys. But can you believe Kevin Patullo might be leaving? Philadelphia Eagles Central tweeted, trending. Eagles OC Kevin Patullo listed as a top candidate to be hired as a head coach next season per Tom Pelissero. I mean, Tom Pelissero don't be messing around with his reports. That's what he said. I'll believe it when I see it. I just don't know how, but it is what it is. Unfortunately, even if it's true, it's not going to help us this year. Back to the Cowboys real quick. Their offense is good, but they never played a defense like the Eagles. Switching gears to what Jalen Hurts had to say at his presser today about the Eagles offense. What do you think's different from when you guys opened the season versus the Cowboys until now?
2 hours later.
I mean, we won then, we win now. So, from a macro perspective, I mean, what else? Um, you know, there's I mean, I think when you look back at game one, we're not a finished product then, and I think when you look at us now, we're not a finished product. So, um, yeah, we're still building, still growing.
My man couldn't think of anything because under Kevin Patullo, nothing has changed in 11 weeks. On that note, shout out to Jalen Hurts for at least coming up with macro. We were winning then and we're winning now. I mean, what else is he going to say about this offense? Dot, dot, dot. But maybe, just maybe, after the Cowboys game, we know something about this offense. Yesterday, I talked about Tank Bigsby needing more carries, as he was big in the run game versus the Giants, but also had 8.5 yards per carry versus the Lions, but only 4 touches. Jalen Hurts was asked about Tank and how he's been a spark plug in the run game.
I'm a big fan. I mean, of him as a player, but as a person who shows up and how he works. You know, you see him running hard and dragging people and being very hard to bring down, almost undeniable. He practices just like that. You know, he's giving the scout team fits, and then he's stepping in there and he's eager to take advantage of the opportunity, never hesitant to ask a question and try and, uh, you know, make sure we're good and on the same page. And so it's been fun to watch him play when he gets those opportunities.
Now, of course, he's not picking Tank Bigsby over Saquon Barkley, but he had high praise for him. Yesterday, I was talking about it. Beat writer says it. Maybe they're watching the Philly Talk podcast too. Shout out to y'all for showing love. Just kidding. But I would like to see Tank more involved. Now, before we actually hear Jalen Hurts respond himself to the reports about players and coaches being frustrated, I love the way he handled it, especially at the end. We also hear from DeSean Jackson on AJ Brown, plus his relationship with Jalen Hurts, and Jordan Davis winning Defensive Player of the Week in the NFC, but his mindset is even better than his play. Let's hear a word from our sponsor, Manta Sleep Mask. If you've ever ripped your sleep mask off in the middle of the night because it got too hot, this one's for you. The Manta Cool Mask gives you complete darkness and a calming, cooling sensation at the same time. The eye cups are filled with a cooling gel that helps reduce puffiness and tension while still giving you a zero pressure fit. And like every Manta mask, it blocks 100% of the light for deeper, uninterrupted sleep. Now, of course, every Manta sleep mask I ever use has been absolutely legit. But right now, I'm working with the Manta Cool Sleep Mask. And you might be thinking, why? It's winter. It's cold outside. Well, my wife likes to keep our room super toasty. So I realized this around my eyes keep me calm, cool, collective, and it lets me go to sleep. And I absolutely like the adjustable eyewear. They are so soft. But find your perfect sleep mask by going to the website. You can get the Manta Cool Sleep Mask, the Manta Steam Sleep Mask. They got Manta Kid Sleep Mask. They got Manta Sound Sleep Mask, Bluetooth right there for you to listen to as you're relaxing. They got the Manta Pro Sleep Mask, the Manta Silk Sleep Mask, the regular Manta Sleep Mask. Last but not least, the Manta Weighted Sleep Mask. So, use my promo code PhillyMike to unlock 10% off your purchase. Once again, that is code PhillyMike to unlock 10% off your next sleep mask. Link in the description and or the pinned comment section. Go check them out. Now, to Jordan Davis, who won Defensive Player of the Week for the NFC. Mind you, early in the season, remember, he won Special Team Player of the Week when we blocked the Rams field goal. But Jordan Davis has been absolutely balling out. A lot of attention goes to Jalen Carter, even the breakout season of Jomo's having. But Jordan Davis stopping the run, getting at the passer, the pass deflection, something he's added to his game. And with his height and athletic ability, it is going to continue to work. But as much as I love his play on the field and the fact that he said he got in shape for the team, not for himself, he wants to be the best for the team. It shows me he's really important as a leader of this defensive line. And when asked in the locker room, being behind guys like Fletch and all that, did he think he was going to be ready to be a leader.
I did. And when I speak and I say I didn't mean as a football player. I was still trying to figure my way. I was still trying to find my way. But as a person, as a connection, as a piece of the defense where people gravitate, and I'm like, just the juice man. Like I call myself, I'm the juice man. But, I always wanted to be that player. I didn't want anybody to feel down while they're here. I didn't want anybody. I want the family felt, because that's how I felt at school when I was at Georgia. That's how I felt in high school. And, it's a lot. The higher you go up in every level, the connection, it kind of gets less and less because, people got families and stuff. You're not kids anymore. But, I did have a vision for the defense to be connected, play as one. If it was a problem, we'll solve it immediately. Nothing crazy going on. You're a real one, bro. Nothing crazy going on. Like just anything. Like I just wanted we wanted to be one band, one sound, one heartbeat. And I couldn't be happier at the defense. Like even when we're not at our best, we always had that mindset where we come back and get to work. We come back and we're so passionate about getting to work because we know we can fix that problem. We have so much faith in ourselves that it's hard for to use the beat. Because we were just like, we got to get it. We're going to fight to the very end. And, that's admirable. We had a situation earlier in this year where we had to fight and scratch and claw for a game. And that's just the way we play. And that's the testament to those guys that we play with because, I couldn't do this alone. It takes all of us.
I honestly think he's the glue to the defensive line. You got the hype man in Nolan Smith, the killer in Jalen Carter, new Jalen Phillips on the block who's just happy to be here, although he's a dog too. But Jordan Davis brings the camaraderie, keeps everybody square, makes them all rush at one, although he was struggling to even get on the field and be the guy he is this year. He's always had that locker room swag. As for Jalen Hurts, coming to the press conference, pretty much knowing what the first question was going to be, he does low-key answer it by the end, but the first question asked, so there were some reports floating around over the weekend about players and coaches being frustrated with you. How do you digest it and what's your reaction?
Just go to work every day. And continue to go out there and try and do my best.
Being in the position you are as a starting quarterback in this league, does that kind of come with the territory? And how do you learn to deal with those?
I think it definitely does. And, I take a lot of the responsibility when things are going. I guess I get a lot of attention when things are going well and when things are not going so well. And so I never run away from holding myself accountable. And I think, that's exactly what I've taken the approach of doing. When I look at this last game, I take great pride in what we do on offense. I take great pride in how we go out there and play as a team and what our flow is. And so we obviously got work to do, and I think that obviously starts with me. That's always my approach. That's always me looking internally first in everything that we do, and then in due time rising above.
If there are frustrations from your teammates or coaches with you, do you feel like you're open to them coming to you with?
Well, I can't get into hypotheticals of if. Ultimately, it's about coming in here and working and leading and bringing good energy and going out there and showing about how you work. At the end of the day, we come out here we are here to play as a team and to play together and go out there and find ways to win. And so that's where we all have our focus at.
So those things haven't been brought to you directly?
I don't want to get into that. I know it hasn't, though.
How about you personally?
Y'all bring it to me. I mean, I think it's a bit of a different thing. Again, I don't want to get into the weeds of anything ultimately.
But from a personal level, that's what I was going to ask you about. How do you I assume you get frustrated at times with certain things. How do you sort of overcome that?
It comes with the nature of it. Everybody's going to have an opinion, and I give a lot of respect to those things. Ultimately, we're all here to do the same thing. And so it's about the pursuit of that, and I've always encouraged trying to work together to achieve that.
Spoken with true class. He's always going to hold himself accountable. He knows he got to be better, and he will be better. As for him saying, when we're winning, I get the praise. When we're losing, I get the blame. Although we all know Kevin Patullo deserves it. Again, I think it's being blown out of proportion. If they're watching film and someone says, "See, Jalen, I was open here, you didn't throw it." Then Jalen gives him his feedback. There's not arguing. They're not someone saying, "Bro, Jalen's never going to get me the ball." Blah. I don't think it's that. I think it's a little bit of discussion, and people are blowing it up. You clearly heard him say, "Nobody has brought that to my attention, at least." So even if somebody does feel that way and leaked it, if one person leaked it, although the reports would make it sound like multiple people, a lot of people, anyways, if one person leaked it, he at least didn't come to the coaching staff for Jalen Hurts with it, or Jalen Hurts being as truthful as he is, would have said something right here, right now. Anyways, as the presser continued, he got regular questions, but then he was asked, "Since you are a proven winner and been taking care of the ball, are you surprised that these reports are coming out?"
I'm not surprised. I'm not surprised by anything. I mean, this is kind of the nature of the position, like I said, but, I put my energy and I put my focus on trying to go out there and do my best and trying to learn, trying to build, trying to take in the things that I can to improve. And so, I've said this before about winning and success and all those things. Like, that doesn't do you anything in the present. It's only an experience that you can lean on as you go forward. And so, you lean on all those successes, you lean on all the trials, you lean on all the different things that you've experienced, you use them. Ultimately, it's about how you navigate what's in front of you and how you respond to these things. And so I think the response is more important than anything. It's about pushing forward, about finding ways to grow. There's always going to be something. There's always going to be something. There's always unknown. There's always another dynamic to a situation. Ultimately, it's about growth. I mean, that's why we play the game. That's why I play the game. That's why I play the position. I play the position to learn. I play the game because I love what it teaches you. And there's beauty in all of these lessons. And I think, all of the lessons that it's taught us in the past has brought us great success. And so I think lessons to be learned right now and where we are, we only go forward.
The reason I love that part the most is because he talked about how you respond. And we all know when Jalen Hurts is discredited or talked about, whether it's national media, Philly media, whenever you doubt this man, he turns up and expect to see a better Jalen, regardless how the Kevin Patullo offense looks. Lastly, D-Jax on this podcast had this to say about AJ and the relationship.
I don't like to criticize people, but I'm a realist and I gotta speak the facts. I feel like he's brought a lot of attention upon himself. I think he's a hell of a talent. As a wide receiver, you should want the ball. But when you're in the instance where you're doing these gimmicks or you're out on social media or you're on Twitch or you're saying all this, it brings more attention to you, right? And if you're gonna bring the attention to you, that means you have to be on your game that much more. Your game got to be superior. Your game got to be top tier. And I feel like the attention he's allowed himself to bring to now, it's like it's a few passes that are thrown his way, one-on-one coverage, and he's giving up and he's not running full speed. Like all that stuff you probably could have got away with if you didn't bring all this attention to yourself. But now it's like we see it all. And as you could tell, it's something else going on. And I got a great relationship with him. I respect him. I can't say it, but I know it's something else going on. That it's not all about football. It's not about X's and O's. I've had situationships with quarterbacks that I didn't necessarily like. And I'm gonna just be honest. And when it ain't there, it sticks out like a sore thumb. That's all I'm gonna say.
The crazy thing is, he said, "I can't and I won't say anything," but low key did. He insinuated that AJ Brown and Jalen Hurts, they're not good at all. And maybe they're not friends. There's definitely a disconnect between these two, whether it is targets and stats and whatever. Just last year after the Steelers game, they made it a point to show they're good.
After the touchdown, I know you guys have done it before, but was that kind of a good way to show people like,
For sure. That was our moment to tell everybody to shut up,
They told everybody to shut up. Then in the Super Bowl, they had a long, heartfelt conversation, and they're talking about love you too.
Love you too.
Last year when things got rough, they tried to say they're not friends anymore, and they proved that they were. This year, there's a little bit more drama in it, but when AJ got mad about targets and being involved in the offense, he defended Jalen, didn't call him out. I'm not saying D-Jax is lying, but Is AJ that close to Djax where he's going to tell him that? I don't know. And again, they don't got to be best friends anymore. Maybe working together change the dynamic. Although Jalen Hurts is still AJ Brown's daughter's godfather. All that being said, moving in with somebody like a roommate, things can change. But I still think when push comes to shove, they're going to be able to get plays together. They're going to be able to play football together. I think the bigger dynamic is Kevin Patullo, the play calling, the routes ran, the involvement, the everything. Because they were supposed to be not friends last year, and they went out their way to show it. So again, Eagles beat Dallas the way we should or could beat Dallas. Remember, I'll talk about this as a trap game, so we got to be careful. We beat Dallas, it dies down. Lose to Dallas, if there is a leak and I am wrong, someone's going to say something else. Tomorrow, we preview with game footage, stats, numbers, Eagles versus Cowboys. On that note, go get your Manta sleep mask. Anyone you want, leave a comment. I love hearing from you. Sorry about the lack of responses. We'll talk about it on this one. Also, like, subscribe, turn on the notification bell so you don't miss the videos or the live streams, and also hype up the video. I love you to death. We out.